In a small town named Millbrook, lived a couple named Sarah and Michael. They were known for their strong relationship and were often looked up to by their friends and family. However, like any couple, they had their fair share of disagreements and misunderstandings. One summer evening, as the sun set over Millbrook's rolling hills, Sarah and Michael found themselves sitting on the porch, sipping tea, and discussing the latest happenings in the town. They laughed about the quirky neighbors' antics and reminisced about their early days together. As their conversation flowed, Sarah mentioned how she couldn't understand why their mutual friend, Mark, had been arguing so much with his wife.
Honestly, if I were in his shoes, I'd handle things so much better,
she said confidently. Michael glanced at her with a knowing smile.
It's easy to think that way when you're not in the situation, but you never really know how you'll react until you're facing it yourself.
Sarah brushed off his comment, convinced that she would handle things perfectly if she were in a similar situation. Their conversation shifted, and they soon retired for the night. The following weeks brought a series of unexpected challenges for Sarah and Michael. Their work pressures increased, and they found themselves bickering over the smallest things. Their once harmonious relationship began to show signs of strain. One evening, after a particularly heated argument, Sarah sat on the same porch where they had shared their thoughts about Mark's situation. She felt a sense of frustration and exhaustion. Her mind wandered back to her confident proclamation, and a pang of realization hit her. As the days passed, Sarah started to see the parallels between her situation and Mark's. She understood how easily words could be misinterpreted and how even the strongest relationships could falter under pressure. She realized that her earlier judgment had been naive and insensitive. Seeking advice, Sarah confided in a close friend who had been through her own share of relationship challenges. Her friend's advice was simple yet profound.
Relationships are like delicate threads. They require understanding, patience, and compromise. It's easy to judge from the outside, but when you're entwined the threads yourself, things look different.
Armed with this newfound perspective, Sarah decided to approach her relationship with Michael differently. She initiated an open conversation about their recent struggles, acknowledging her own mistakes and expressing her desire to work together to overcome their challenges. Michael, in turn, shared his own insights and admitted his own faults. The couple began to communicate more effectively, focusing on empathy rather than judgment. Slowly, the threads of their relationship began to mend as they wove understanding and compromise into the fabric of their connection. Months passed, and Sarah and Michael emerged from their difficult period stronger than before. They had learned that a strong relationship required humility and vulnerability, and that it was far more complex than it appeared from the outside. Their experiences had taught them the importance of not throwing stones at others' relationships, as they themselves had faced their own trials and tribulations. The story of Sarah and Michael's journey spread throughout Millbrook, becoming a reminder to everyone that relationships were intricate and required constant effort. The tale served as a humbling lesson that judgment had no place in matters of the heart, and that every thread in the fabric of a relationship deserved respect and understanding.
The saying, "People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones," is used to say that people who have faults should not criticize other people for having the same faults. Please hit the subscribe button so you do not miss out on any of my future uploads. Thank you.